But yes, I did start work on your clip. I was hoping to get it done. I haven't quite got there yet, but Troy is here, and Troy just got whiplash. And Kit Kat says, "Now we wait." Flying blind on a rocket cycle is also here. Hello, Sonorta. Kit Kat, Snort, Flying Blind. TJ, Magnify Tom is in the house. And who else? Kit Kat says, "Do you think Jonas ends his phone calls by just hanging up and not saying goodbye?" Look, it's it's something different. Jonas is usually on Fridays, not on Mondays. So, it's all fun. This is funny. That's me using StreamYard all the time. Right there is really what that is. Kit Kat. Troy says yes. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Troy. We got my mom. My mom's in here. Everybody say hi, Mom. And we got DL Findle coming in for 2844. Monday. Can't trust that day. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. We've got Tuber Chat said hi to them. That's Kevin. And Erica and Raph is here in the chat. And maybe somewhere else. And let's see. Am I missing anybody? For Edom Seeker, yes. Look, look, I got to base it off your name, and based off your name. And that's funny because it's always the people whose clip I did finish that don't show up the next time. So you'll know when your clip is finished, the one show that you don't come into. It's really, really funny. Anyway, we've got some guests that I have to bring on. Right now, we're missing a guest. Just to let you know, there's somebody that is supposed to be here that I'm hopefully will make it on, but I know that person is having maybe some technical issues. Oh, maybe not. Maybe the guest is here. First and foremost, let's bring on, let's just say, okay, this first guest is somebody that we probably ought to have Madame Leota summon from the great beyond.
Madame Leota, huh? Did you see somebody made hey, guess what? They're redoing the Haunted Mansion with the Muppets video that's out there, and Miss Piggy's head is in the Madame Leota ball.
They already did that? They did that already.
It might be old. I don't know. I just, I'm always late to the party, but
yeah, I think they did a Haunted Mansion with the Muppets, but yeah, I got to figure that out. How you doing today, Lou?
Pretty good. Had me a delicious Turkish meatball Mediterranean salad from our local Greekish place, which is very good. And, it's Monday, right? Like you said, like that guy in the chat said, can't trust that day, which I thought was funny considering the person before that you read was your mother, and considering the mamas and the papas made that song. Anyway, synergy in the land of online stuff. But how are you, Ron? Other than buff and built and all those things that you keep showing off on your pictures, but
not quite. I'm not quite where I want to say. Okay, so I got down to my lowest weight that I've seen on the scale for a while.
Well, wait. When you say you've seen on the scale, does that mean you reduced your stomach so you could see the scale?
Or no, yeah. Well, so like I weigh myself a lot, but I always weigh myself after the last workout of the day. And yesterday I came in at my lowest weight since I've been starting this whole thing. So I was 272.8 when I first weighed in, and I waited to weigh in probably a week or so into, starting. So I'm sure I was heavier than that.
And how tall are you?
6'3".
Oh, well, gee. If I
And,
was 6'3", I'd be slim too.
and then
I'm not fat. I'm short.
yeah, I weighed in
5'9".
at 226 the other yesterday, last night, 226. So I'm getting to where I want to be. I probably need to be somewhere around 205 to 195, but I don't know exactly where that's going to be. It has to do with where I want my body fat to be. But basically, I'm just trying to get it. For me, it's not even the stuff that you see. It's the fact that when you're eliminating body fat, you're eliminating visceral fat, which is the fat that surrounds your organs.
Right.
And it's that particular fat, the visceral fat that surrounds your organs, can really, really impact your health in a very negative way. And with my father passing last year, and it's I'm trying to be healthier if I can. So
aren't we all? Earlier today, my wife said to me, when we get our health together, we should take the kids down to Epic. I said, you mean when we get our health and our money better? So
there you go. Yeah.
We got to have both, or at least some semblance of both. But what the hell? Well, my genes say I've got another 20 years. My mother is going strong at 98. And everybody on that side of the family who didn't succumb to the evils of a certain war lasted a long, long, long time. So we shall see. We shall see. But it's not longevity, It's feeling good.
Right.
In your longevity. If your longevity only means it prolongs your suffering, it's not worth it, in my opinion.
Exactly. I agree with that.
Quality of life counts more than quantity, but if you can get both, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. And speaking of hallelujah and things that's just to be so grateful for, I am grateful for our next guest, who comes to us from just, honestly, I feel like this person just, I don't know, comes to us from a whole other time.
Doc, calm down, okay? Just calm down. It's me, it's Marty.
No, it can't be you. I sent you back to the future.
Hey, Doc, that's right, but I came back again. I came back from the future. Don't you remember last night? You fainted. I brought you home.
This can't be happening. You can't be here. It doesn't make sense for you to be here. I refuse to believe that you are here.
Hello.
But she is here. This is yeah.
Why would you think she's from another time? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because she is. She's in a different time zone.
Oh, that. Oh, okay.
Now I'm in the past. I came back from the future.
Well, remember, you keep hopping over the middle.
I'm yesterday's news. I'm leftovers now.
I have a very, very important question for Erica. Do you have your stuff yet?
No. I was hoping to get it. I've been checking Facebook Messenger, waiting on Raph. Did you get email yet? Do we have an email yet? Do we have an email yet on anything? One of the cars, our stuff, anything. He says, no, I'm refreshing my email and checking spam and junk. He's like, nothing yet. I'm like, hurry up.
Well, I remember on Major Dad, they did a show about, we've moved to the new base. And the first episode of the show that year, the house was totally empty because they were waiting for their furniture. And the second one, they're outside the front door. Hey, I heard they delivered our furniture. And they walk in and it looks like a Chinese brothel because they got the furniture from somebody who was on Okinawa. And it's all this filigree Chinese stuff that isn't there. So, I hope you get it, but I hope you get yours and not somebody else's. You never know.
It's rare, very rare that happens.
No,
scaringly, scaringly, what has happened is military. Everything usually comes through Virginia, the port in Virginia, and there have been military families that have had crates go missing and end up at some auction. And stuff gets stolen, and those are the worst case scenario nightmare stories that you hear.
I guess.
Yeah, that's never happened to us. Thank knock on wood.
So it all
but
comes
has
through
happened.
Norfolk, huh? Well, that makes sense since it's the
Yeah.
largest Navy base.
Yeah, and then from there they truck everything across the U.S. to wherever you're at. Yeah.
Right.
I want to make a quick announcement to the chat, especially those who may have been watching our live streams from the parks, which I did a couple of park live streams over the weekend. I think Friday and Saturday. There was a lot of support, and I really, really appreciate that. I'm trying to get a list of everybody who was supporting. My wife has that, but she's not here right now. So, and I wasn't here this morning, and so there's been, but anyway, we'll get to that, and we'll probably do those celebrations tomorrow. So if you help support the stream on Friday or Saturday, which was a live stream from the parks, which means I didn't have the assets to do the celebrations in my, because it's from my phone.
Sure.
I apologize, and we're going to celebrate every single one of you. So
Every celebration is good, however belated. I mean,
yes, very, very grateful. So, yes, we appreciate all of that. And, and we got clips. So, what is the whole celebrate thing? Because a lot of people are wondering. We celebrate anytime we get a super chat, super thanks, super sticker, PayPal, buy me a coffee. We just had one come in from Wildman. We're going to get to that in just a second. When we're doing it, we want everybody to celebrate along with us. So how do you celebrate along with us? Because we're a community here, and we celebrate as a community together. We lift everybody up. Hopefully that's what we're trying to do. And in lifting everybody up, we do the celebration. And how do we celebrate? Well, we do these fun dance clips, and when we're doing it, we ask that you in the chat, if you want to participate, we invite you to participate in the celebration with fun emojis, firework emojis, heart emojis, smiley face, little dancey emojis, any kind of thing you want. And if you happen to be a member of the channel, you can celebrate with our custom channel membership emojis, which are there. We're going to practice right now before we do Wildman, and then we'll get to Wildman because I saw that one come in. So let's practice a celebration. And this is just our way of saying thank you for being here.
How celebratory. My goodness.
Yes. Wildman of Yavin chimes in for 20. Thank you so much, Wildman. Appreciate your support. Remember that time Ron tried to censor me on that park place? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Ron, how dare you?
No.
I'm trying to remember what that was about, but
that was their commercial tagline for years and years and years. You know, it was remember the good old days when baked goods were good and everything was authentic. Well, Pepperidge Farm remembers. That was their. It was that old guy with the cart, you know, and
Pepperidge Farm.
And it makes me feel so old to know we're talking right past so many people out there who never remembered that stuff. But trust me, you can look it up. The internet forgets nothing.
I remember that commercial.
Yeah, I love Pepperidge Farm. I like their wafer cookie things that they have.
I like their fudge cakes in the refrigerated section.
I always thought that their simpler things were great because from them you could improvise.
Yeah,
like one of my favorite recipes, which most people are unaware of, so maybe I should share it. Lots of people have had poached pears, right, in red wine and sugar. That's fine. But try it with coffee. You make a pot of coffee and you put in a couple of split open vanilla beans and some brown sugar, and you poach quartered and obviously pitted pears in coffee. And once they're soft, you take the pears out and you reduce the liquid down to a syrup, and it's killer by itself, but over a slice of like Sara Lee or Pepperidge Farm pound cake with whipped cream and vanilla ice cream. Oh, divine, divine, divine. And it'll keep you up nights to eat more of it because it's full of coffee.
I saw Divine earlier
sounds
today.
good.
Jacques Pepin taught me that one, and it's a keeper.
Let's give us a great big celebration to our great big friend Wildman for that time that that's right. There was a chat taken away that wasn't supposed to be. It was like, yeah, accidental thing. Anyway, let's celebrate Wildman.
And on that fateful day, cheers would echo across the galaxy in mass celebration as the fourth moon of Yavin prepares to welcome home one of their own, their greatest hero, none other than the Wild Man of Yavin.
That was exciting.
That was exciting. And you know what else is exciting is that we have a guest waiting in the background who is knocking at the door to come on. Who could it be?
Afternoon, everybody.
Hello.
Sometimes you want to go where
What is
everybody knows. your
Tom?
name.
Hey, Tom.
What's going on, Lou, Erica, Ron? Ron,
I
did
thought
I
you
just
were
see
out and
you?
about today.
No, that's going to be the next couple days.
Oh,
Out and a boat. Out in a boat.
Out in the
Yes.
boat. A
Isn't
boot.
that how they say that in Canada? Out in a boat.
A boot. She's going to say, Sir Commandant, you're going out.
Gotta have that poutine. The daily poutine.
Oh, God. I'm sorry, but I have never understood the attraction of poutine. The whole point
It's
of
just
French
fries,
fries.
with gravies. That's all it
I
is.
understand, but the whole point of French fries is they should be crisp, and when you pour gravy over them, they're just a soggy mess.
That's,
Yeah,
that's we used to call
Canada, you know.
we used to call them disco fries.
If you
Because-
had poutine the way I first had poutine, it's not like that at all. They're not French fries. It's the way that they cut the potatoes for poutine. Almost was the first time I had it. They were like almost like little squares that had been deep fried, so that you actually had like a crispy crust to
Oh,
the
now
potatoes.
see that would make sense.
Yeah. So and then yeah, they don't make them this way at Disney at all. But I had this in Memphis, Tennessee, at a place called Bigfoot.
Memphis,
and
that hotbed of Canadian cuisine.
Yeah. Right.
I
You went to
can't-
Toronto for
it's a
ribs,
PG, it's a
didn't you?
PG show. I gotta stop.
Okay, but yeah, so I had the poutine, and anyway, what was the potatoes were crispy, and then there was the squeaky cheese, as I like to call
Oh,
it,
yeah.
the cheese curds, and
Cheese
then
curds.
the gravy on top was a very dark brown gravy. It's not like a turkey. I mean, it was very authentic, this place. So it was yeah, it was really, really good. But I have never had poutine like that since. And what they call poutine at Disney is just French fries and stuff on top of it. It's not even necessarily gravy. So, but speaking of gravy on top, guess what? We got a little gravy on top today with one extra panelist.
This is someone who ought to know about the wonderful world
Hello.
of cuisine. Hey, Shogi.
Your microphone's working.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a trial getting this thing to to work for me today.
You got my memo
I'll just
about
tell
the
you.
shirt too.
I'll just tell you after you do those updates and stuff with I'll just say regular Windows, not the usually wind blows, but reboot the crap. I mean, shut down, reboot it, especially since you had an update for the camera and an update for Windows. So yeah, all those things don't play nicely.
No, not at all. I got a
Yeah,
cheap
there's a-
plug and play
there's a-
camera.
Herculean task.
Herculean task.
By the way,
Oh,
the
maybe
bill is in
if
the
it's a
mail.
Herculean task, Elliot Page could help you with it.
Oh, what's that person going to do? Throw flowers at it?
Little Hercules and Odysseus and all of those great myths. But although I guess
It just fears
she's
anybody
not a
else.
myth anymore. She's a
I'm
myth
over
girl.
here admiring Shogi's backdrop. I just want to just chill in the back in that room. It looks so cozy.
That's not. It's not a backdrop. It's his actual
My
room.
office.
No, I know, but it's so
Where's
the
cozy.
Legos?
I just want. I just
Oh,
get a
they're all
recliner for me
behind
with
me.
a piece of cake.
I was gonna
and
say, he could take-
coffee.
he
I'll
could take a
never
picture.
leave.
He could take a picture of it and send it to you, and it could be your backdrop tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's true. Well,
Oh, gosh.
now that we have all of our panelists here, as Kit Kat is celebrating the massive number of panelists, I think we're. Oh, you know what?
There. Now I'm at a better place.
Oh, where are you? Where is that beach?
That is my old. That's my old Challenger. Trying to move the camera around,
Ah,
and that is at a place in New Smyrna Beach.
New Smyrna. That's where all the sharks attack everybody.
Only if you're bleeding and or you stick your foot by the water that has all the little swimmy fish. It's mostly baby shark attacks, actually. And yes, that song's now planted in your head.
Oh,
then the
oh
shark-
no! Okay. Forget. Look, I get it. In an effort to dive away from Baby Shark.
Do, 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 do.
Oh God!
no.
Let's get to the numbers over the weekend. We're going to discuss this Disclosure Day, the new Steven Spielberg movie. Not exactly the E.T. movie that people wanted. It comes in at number one. In one way, by the numbers, it comes in at number one. But it's a number one movie that only grossed 44 million over the weekend. So
But
it's,
did it beat Disney's last offering?
it did for the weekend, but not compared to the Disney's last offerings first weekend. It was about like half. So yeah. So this here's what the numbers says about it. Weekend projections. Disclosure Day dominates. It's a lower weekend. And hey, the knockoff Captain America is in it. It's funny because we're living in a day and age now when most actors have probably either played or even been associated with some Marvel character, because you got is that Wyatt Russell? I think that's Wyatt Russell, right?
I thought you were going to say rusted potato chips.
Yeah.
No, but I believe that's Wyatt Russell, who plays the knockoff Captain America, who I can never remember his super whatever name for the Thunderbolts. And then you have Emily Blunt, who was originally cast as Black Widow, but decided to do, what was that giant movie? It wasn't a giant, it was a movie about the giant. Anyway, she decided to do a different movie instead. And then we got Scarlett Johansson. After a string of strong weekends at the box office, things are more muted this time around. Although a good opening for Disclosure Day and another good hold for Obsession means this is still a decent weekend for theaters. And we're going to talk about Obsession in a little bit because that's a far more interesting story. But as you can see, they didn't even have much to write on the numbers, where they went to that sentence and that was pretty much it. So
yeah.
when you look,
Spielberg is leading a charmed life in having his movie open on an off weekend for everybody. So by comparison, he looks good. But
yeah,
I don't know. I've seen nothing good about that movie. I know a lot of our people have chimed in. I haven't seen it, but the funniest one by far is what's his name, Nerdrotic, did a
Mhm.
rip review of it that is just.
I haven't watched any of them because I had no interest in the movie.
Well, see,
Yeah, I
that's the good thing about the internet. Even if the movie sucks, we can get entertainment from people ripping it, right?
Well,
That's-
you know
yeah.
what? Yeah,
That's
good
true.
point. Excuse me.
I think I
No,
get more
but like-
enjoyment out of that anyways nowadays.
Exactly, and hey, look, it's fun. But here's the thing. I think I had this on my thumbnail because that quote that's on my thumbnail I got directly from Rotten Tomatoes from an audience reviewer who literally said Disclosure Day, more like Disappointment Day. Apparently, what I'm seeing is that there is a disconnect between the way this movie was advertised and marketed as to what this movie actually is. I've heard that there's not a whole lot of aliens in it, that Emily Blunt is almost comedic through half the movie, and then
But not intentionally.
Well, no, supposedly it is intentional. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen it. It's one of those movies that, of course, I'm going to watch when it eventually comes to streaming. And what it feels to me like the vast majority of movies these days are made with the intention of it being watched on streaming. Now, I heard the exact opposite about Michael. Everyone says if you can get a chance to go see Michael in the movie theaters while it's still at the movie theater, go see it. And it's almost at $1 billion. As a matter of fact, when we take a look at where Michael is now, it's still number 7 at the box office. This is the Michael Jackson biopic. 932 million worldwide is pretty amazing for a biopic. I don't know any other.
Yeah, but there aren't. Well, I guess maybe that Elton John one, but there aren't that many people who are international stars the way he was, and therefore it makes sense that it's doing such big numbers overseas as well as here.
Yeah, and his music is still current, Lou. I mean, people still listen to his music
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
So you have younger people that really weren't around when a lot of this stuff was happening. So
That's
they're
true.
finding it.
I
and
mean,
they're
I don't
liking
have
it.
I don't have any idea whether or not she is popular that much overseas, but Taylor Swift, okay, big deal here, maybe not so much everywhere else.
It's
Oh.
funny. A lot of the kids I've been talking to lately, when you ask them, it's like, "Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that?" And you bring up Taylor Swift, and they instantly go, "Tay Tay, no, I'm not a Swiftie. No, thank you." And it's kind of like, okay, or you get the opposite ones where they don't like Jackson, but they loved Taylor Swift. It's kind of weird.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to share this story with you about that. Let's see here. Rice University. Let me put it in the thing here so you can share it, Ron. Rice University is actually offering a course on Taylor Swift, analyzing, quote, whiteness and nationalism.
Oh, God. That sounds awful.
They're going to analyze Swift's albums as, quote, primary texts and examine, quote, how a single artist can shape global culture and shift industry standards. If you find this absurd, you are not alone, it says. Now, how would you feel if you were the parents of a student and you were, putting your hard-earned money into their tuition and they bought that class?
Adoption. would
How much
come
are the
up to mind.
books?
How much are the books exactly?
Oh my gosh. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot how much student books cost. Are they like $45 a pop or something now?
And it's funny how sometimes they're written by the teacher. And he
Oh,
commands
God.
you to buy his book so he can get the royalties. But, we wouldn't call
Such a scam.
higher education corrupt, would we ever?
Well,
No.
it's been a long
sometimes
time
I
since
would.
I was.
I would.
Yeah,
I'd call
well,
it a
there.
scam. Excuse me.
Sebastian says somebody take the keys from Spielberg. They probably should have taken the keys from Spielberg before he decided that he wanted to make West Side Story, which totally was unneeded.
to discover that great talent.
Yeah. Oh,
Rachel
Rachel
Bigmouth.
Zegler.
He
Yes.
hasn't made a good movie in a long time.
Yeah, well, You know,
I with all of the reboots and remakes and bringing things back from the past, is anybody else surprised that they haven't tried to do a sequel to ET, like a modern sequel to? I mean, they still have some.
Oh, don't give them any
Well,
ideas.
Please, Ron, stop.
He
Don't put
controls
that
it,
out into
and
the
he
ether.
controls it, and he has said he doesn't want to do sequels and doesn't want anybody else to do sequels of his stuff. So there you go.
Oh, that's good.
Well,
Not that all those Indiana Jones movies were not sequels, but hey, he's changed his mind.
Right. But hey, if it was a good story, I would love to see E.T. come back, grab Elliot, grab Drew Barrymore, take their adult selves to his home planet so that they have to come and save it. and
I would imagine he'd come back and he wouldn't recognize them as they've been warped by going to college and all the rest of the stuff they've done since last time.
Good Lord. Yeah. I mean, it was a whole different, I just think it'd be an interesting
he would put his
story.
finger on his chest and say, I'm taking it back.
I would rather see that than whatever the heck this disclosure day is supposed to be. And wait, is this true? Star Wars Nikki books are now $200 plus for a single book? For real?
Excuse me?
Sometimes, yeah.
What the? That's crazy.
That's just, I can't say it. I'll behave.
Yeah,
That's past BS. That's just like, ugh.
Man, that's just
And
absolutely nuts.
scholarship money doesn't pay for that, does it? It just pays tuition. Or I don't know. I don't really know.
It's
Well,
a
as
book
we're
you'll never
looking at,
use either because you
Yeah.
just follow the lecture and you don't even need the book. So you're paying $200 for a book you're never even going to open.
Well, and people used to, I remember when I went to college a million years ago, you'd buy the used versions from the previous class because they'd sell them back to the student store.
Yeah.
But
Well, the last time that I was in any kind of college class, it was for massage school, and we actually had some pretty decent books for that, which a lot of those I kept because they were actually useful.
did the books come alive and massage you to teach you how to do it? That's what I
They
want to see
did
in the
not.
future.
No, but the best part, when I went to massage school, I went to a very, very thorough school, and we had cadaver lab for our anatomy and physiology class.
Oh,
So yeah, so it would, and I don't think my class appreciated my jokes. It was 1999 at the time, so every time we walk into the lab, I would whisper, "I see dead people."
I'm imagining, Ron, seeing you in the opening credit sequence on Quincy. And now the most fascinating part of police work, dead people,
Yeah.
and all the cops
Yeah.
throw up and faint and
No, cadaver lab.
Cadaver Day is the worst. You can smell the formaldehyde like through the entire building, whether
Yeah.
you're going into that class or not. You're smelling it.
Well, north of me, up at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, they actually have a plot of land where they have decaying bodies in the ground to be used as study objects for forensic people to see what happens over how much time. I don't know if you knew that. It's called the Body Farm, and it's real.
Well, speaking of decaying bodies, that's a great segue to Star Wars. Because Star Wars is certainly a decaying body. As you look at the fourth weekend of a Star Wars movie in the box office, it's hit 315 million worldwide. This is not it has not made back its production plus marketing spend. Okay, so a lot of times you'll see posts that say, "Oh, it's made 315. Its a production budget was 165 million." That means nothing. Okay, so the point is, first of all, whatever the purported production budget was, they went over that, which means they spent more on the production side of it, and then they also spent at least that much marketing. They spent a lot of money marketing this movie because it got marketed everywhere. I would say that it probably has to make, I think Valiant said at least 600 million to even break even at the box office.
Well, at least. And my question is, if you're talking about marketing, would you consider the redo of the ride at the parks to include them to be part of the marketing of the movie? Because it kind of is.
It really is. Not to mention the fact, I mean, they announced that a while back that they were going to, and it hasn't moved the needle one bit. on park attendance or even the wait time for that ride. Nobody cares. Like literally nobody cares, which is crazy. You know, I would say it's crazy from the point of view of what Star Wars used to be. However, every time I go, I think of what Hollywood Studios used to be. And that's what's heartbreaking for me. If the Star Wars land and the Toy Stories land, if both of those were great replacements for what had been there, I would be celebrating it. Neither one of them are. The studio backlot tour, I know a lot of people thought that was a throwback to a different age, but I would take what even the Hollywood Studios, the last version, which was the short version with Catastrophe Canyon. Erica, remember Catastrophe Canyon? Tom?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yep.
Catastrophe and lose. You saw Catastrophe. I mean,
Oh yeah,
To
but
me-
but it always to me as somebody who grew up in LA with Universal Studios,
yeah,
it was always going to be second fiddle to that,
right.
and to all the drive-through attractions that were still are on the studio tour at Universal.
Yeah, it was a copycat, but I'd still take that copycat over what they put in its place. Because to me, just don't get like Toy Story Land has a freaking. It's got a roller coaster. When you go into Toy Story Land, it feels like a knockoff amusement park. It does not feel like you've shrunk down to the size of a toy in Andy's backyard. It doesn't feel like that at all. I mean, they would have had to put giant blades of grass or something in there. It's the hottest area of any of the Walt Disney World theme parks. And then it goes into Galaxy's Edge. Galaxy's Edge is it just doesn't feel like you're walking in Star Wars in the same way that when you go into Diagon Alley in Harry Potter Land or Hogsmeade in Harry Potter Land at Universal, that you feel like you're in Harry Potter movies. And I'm not a Harry Potter fan. Shogi, do you have you been to any of the Harry Potter areas in Universal?
I've been to the one out here, and it's even though it's really a small area, it's phenomenal, and it's one of the more packed areas of the park. I was kind of hoping they would expand it, but then they put the Fast and the Furious ride right outside of it.
Right.
You have was it Hogsmeade there?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's where the Universal Amphitheater used to be.
Yeah, that was a great amphitheater.
Oh man, I remember when it first opened and there were no walls and no roof and no nothing, and you saw the whole valley glittering out there beyond when they did. I think the opening production was Jesus Christ Superstar, and it was great. And then then the neighbors complained about the noise, and so they put a few walls up to try and block the noise. But to me, that's always like you're moving in on the flight path of LAX. You know, what do you expect? But I saw one of the greatest concerts I ever saw in my life there, which was ELO. And they had all these little mirrors posted along that back wall that they had at the top of the amphitheater. And the guy with the cello in ELO, it was a mirrored cello, and they had lasers that came out of a pit in the floor, bounced off the cello, and made like an arch over the whole theater in the sky, because then they would bounce off these mirrors in the back and be sent off into the stratosphere. And it was, oh my God, was it a great, amazing, amazing effect to be there for that. Those were the days.
Those were.
And then they built the theater,
days, my
and
friend.
I think before they tore it down, they were losing in the concert business because the big arenas, you know, like Staples and whatever, could hold so many more people. And it seemed like every other concert up there was a relatively obscure to non-Latino people Latino star. And eventually they said, tear it down and build Hogsmeade. And so they did.
Well, we have, here at Universal, we have Hogsmeade. Then you can take the train over to Diagon Alley. You can take the train between the two. Obviously, no train over to Epic Universe yet because it's miles away. If they ever figure out a magical portal to the Ministry of Magic from Universal, that would be, I don't know how you do it. That'd be amazing. I know Elon
The
Musk
night
has
bus.
talked about, well, they have the night bus there, but it doesn't go anywhere. Like when you when you leave Diagon Alley, the night.
Well,
bus
the
is
question
there.
would be if they had a bus, which they theoretically could do, or one of those, because they're talking about the Boring Company making a tube tunnel between the
Right.
parks. If they did it the way they do that train, where the windows were really big screens and made a fake ride through England out of it or something, I don't know. That might be interesting. Actually, what would be funny is, since it's in a hole in the ground and since the theming is Paris, it could be the channel. It could be the magical channel, going through the tunnel from one to the other to Paris.
It's the night bus is such an interesting concept because they have, of course, the regular streets that they could just put a bus on, but they could put the digital windows in it and make it that a version of the night bus.
At some point, that becomes those box vans going from the Star Wars hotel.
Yeah.
To only much longer ride.
The ridiculousness of
If
that.
the movement doesn't match the windows, you might get a little motion sick too.
Yes.
Well, but the real problem is you don't want to get the comparison between what is currently the Fast and Furious ride at Universal, which I think is about to shut down forever.
Yeah.
Because that would be a horrible comparison because that ride sucks.
That was one more of the, how many screen rides can we put in one park period of Universal?
Oh God. Yeah. They're doing like a lot. I mean, I'm telling you, with Monsters Unchained, they really knocked it out of the park, and you have so much of that ride that it's just the most amazing animatronics. Tom, how many times have you ridden Monsters Unchained? A lot? A few?
At least 10 times?
Wow.
Wow.
It's a fantastic experience, and it's not really, I don't think it's scary per se. It's more like the Haunted Mansion on steroids, if you will. Yeah.
And this is why everything I've seen about the proposed or building, or they're talking and they're sort of building Villains Land at Disney, is a mistake in the sense that they're trying to out scare zone Universal. And that's not what they should be doing. They should be doing a funny Villains Land and having a sense of humor, but of course they haven't got a lot of that anymore. But they should. That's what they should be doing.
I don't think they have a sense of
Instead, we've seen all those drawings where it looks like the Bloomin' Onion in purple, but which may be great for culture. But anyway.
I could go for a Bloomin' Onion.
Sense of
right
humor doesn't have the right ring to it. Maybe you could call it humor language.
There you go.
Oh, don't give them no things like that. Oh God.
All right.
All I could see is something with. I can't. No.
Well, in this case, like I say, the shape is the blooming onion. So
the blooming onion that creeps across your table and slowly tries to talk to you about the new language coming to Disney.
Yeah.
Man, I want.
While they're talking to you, you must buy a $24 cocktail too, by the way.
Well, we have an interesting story about what is dominating the box office and pop culture, and it's so different than what it used to be. This one comes to us out of thatparkplace.com. Bookmark it if you have not yet done so. Thatparkplace.com by Trevor Denning. Obsession rallies in fifth weekend with minimal drop as box office surges towards $300 million. That is huge for this basically independent, but more than independent movie. There's Indy Navarrete. If you're not familiar with her, she was in Superman and Lois. She played a prominent character in that television show, but she is
Lois and Clark
in Obsession. Not Lois and Clark. She was in Superman and Lois.
Oh, okay.
The one with Tyler Hoechlin, the new.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
She played, I think, the girlfriend of one of Superman's sons. Actually, the big story at the box office this weekend was not Disclosure Day, the latest film from Steven Spielberg, which was a dud. Instead, Obsession from 26-year-old director Curie Barker continues to defy every conventional box office trend. The horror hit earned approximately $19 million in its fifth weekend, falling just 25% from the previous frame while claiming the number 2 spot domestically. Luminary.
By the way, I just looked it up out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Spielberg's first feature film, Duel, he was 24.
Oh, wow.
How's that for symmetry?
There you go. Yeah. Well, we'll see where this person is in about 30 years.
Yes,
40 years, actually, I guess. Yeah, so Luminary Limited Obsession tracked down another 19 million, minus 25% this weekend. 188 million total. The fourth consecutive weekend the film has grossed more than its opening weekend. That just doesn't happen. More remarkably, the film has now grossed more than its $17.2 million opening weekend for 4 consecutive weekends, an almost unheard of feat in modern box office history. So this is what that means. 4 consecutive weekends above opening weekend. Most movies are heavily front loaded. Studios typically generate their largest audience turnout during opening weekend before attendance steadily declines. Horror films are often even more dependent on strong debuts, frequently suffering steep drops once initial curiosity fades. But last week's number 1 film, Scary Movie, dropped 73% in its second weekend. Meanwhile, Masters of the Universe fell 71% during the same time frame, sliding to 5th place domestically. Box office analyst Odin, writing for Geeks and Gamers, has also argued that Disclosure Day appears to be facing poor word of mouth and could experience a significant second weekend drop off. And
I have a hypothesis that just came to me. I don't, first of all, consider Scary Movie to be a horror movie because really it's a comedy. I mean, they all are. But I wonder if the reason why horror movies do well in theaters, as opposed to everybody saying, I'll wait till it comes on streaming, we like to be scared in a group. We like to have the audience around us and everybody yelling at the jump scares and everybody squirming, and it's a communal experience the way all movie going used to be. And I think maybe it's that genre that without that you wouldn't have the scare nights and Halloween horror nights and all the rest of that stuff being so popular, would you? It just came to me, and I don't know whether it's true, but it seems to me that genre is unique in that way anymore. It didn't used to be.
You know, the first movie that I was ever cast in was a horror movie.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, those of us who know you. But anyway.
and my role would have been an interesting role. I was 16 years old. I got cast. I can't remember the name of the character, but I was
it wasn't Dead Body number 12, was it?
No, but I was supposed to be mentally challenged. And I just remember the scene.
Supposed to be?
It's the method.
Right.
Who are you to argue with Stanislavski, Tom?
Right.
So scientifically enhanced person? I don't know.
I was supposed to stand in front of a road sign where a road had been cut off with the little, median thing, the marker, and as people, they stopped their car to get out because they thought that the road was supposed to be going on, and I was supposed to pop out of nowhere going, dead end, dead end, dead. It's so funny. I'll never forget, because it was I remember practicing for it and doing all this stuff, and then just the funding fell through. It was going to be an independent feature, and funding fell through, and that was in St. Louis, Missouri, when I was 16 years old. But yeah, I mean, these horror movies, they can have lower budgets, and because they can have lower budgets, they usually can do very, very well. So this is saying Obsession followed the opposite trajectory. Instead of fading, the film has maintained momentum through strong social media buzz and continued audience interest. The result has been a theatrical run that increasingly resembles some of the industry's most famous sleeper hits rather than a traditional horror release. The fifth weekend performance also continues a trend that has left industry observers searching for comparisons. Earlier in its run, Analysts compared the film, and this is where I need you on, Lou, to the Blair Witch Project and Jordan Peele's Get Out. Do you have a take on that?
Sure. It's pretty much what I just said, in the sense that there's something about the horror genre that really everybody wants to, in the first weeks, say, "Did you see it? Oh, go see it. Oh, you got to." I mean, as I've told you before, the head of publicity for Universal Studios once told me that word of mouth is everything. And he was talking about how, I don't know if anybody's been on the Sunset Strip in LA, but there are these wall-to-wall massive billboards for movies and TV shows. And he said all of that is ego stroking for the stars. It doesn't do anything for business. It is strictly about word of mouth. And so if you're figuring that the demographic of people who go to the movies now is relatively young, and they all go to school or to work Monday morning and say, "What did you do over the weekend?" "Oh, I saw this. You got to go see it." That kind of enthusiasm, which used to happen for all kinds of movies, it doesn't seem like it happens for every genre anymore. And certainly with all the duds there have been in the big blockbuster department, it makes sense that it's that emotional outlet's got to go somewhere. And this is where it's going, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. And, it's very interesting to me that we're seeing something. I'll be honest, I'm waiting for when Mr. Beast produces a movie at this point in time, because I think he just passed, what was it, 500?
He's now the first million? What was it, the first in history to get to
500 million subscribers.
500 million YouTube subscribers. Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Really?
So yeah, it's, and I'm like, so what is happening now at the box office, I think, is fabulous. By the way, we're seeing, I wouldn't say it's the complete death of the blockbuster, but I would say that we're seeing a lull with blockbusters, because we're seeing the YouTube effect take place. People are interested in seeing what their favorite YouTube creators can now bring to the movie theater. And we have now seen that with 3 major movies that have broken through at the box office in the last several weeks, that all of that started on YouTube, which, I mean,
And by the way, those kinds of supposedly B pictures never used to premiere in the key summer or Christmas season. They always were in the fringe seasons, but now that they're running neck and neck with these big blockbusters that have become so disappointing, it kind of accentuates it. So
do you think that this puts Hollywood on alert? I mean, the insider industry in Hollywood that says, we've got the big studios, MGM, Paramount, Disney, all the big studios. Do you think that they're, what do you think that their take is?
Let me jump the gun on the goal and tell the story I've told before, which is simply this: when Easy Rider became the #1 box office movie ever, it supplanted Sound of Music. Now, Sound of Music had been made for a then very expensive $4.5 million, and Easy Rider was made for a little under $1 million. And the question around town was, does this mean the major studios will now start making movies for under $1 million? And the answer came back, no, because you can't steal $1 million out of $1 million. So are they aware of it? Hell yes. Is it going to change their practices? Hell no, because they're so vested in that practice. And so many, it's like when we talk about supposed budgets versus actual budgets, and we know that those tax things we hear from England, because they report it for the tax breaks, do not include all these zillion above the line, not only stars, not the directors and the producers, but all of their secretaries and all of their assistants and the whole, the whole troop of supporting people. They're not included in those numbers either, and they're there. And if the movie suddenly is only being made for $1 million or $2 million, they go away, don't they? Because who needs all that? And so there's a huge vested interest in keeping things the way they are, and not just from the top people, but from all the people below them too.
What So if they don't change, though, will they eventually die or rally? Or what's going to happen to Hollywood?
It's all a question of whether the stories are any good, isn't it? I mean, Disney had one good idea. They called it the story group or whatever they called it. That doesn't mean they actually did what they should have done, which is come up with new stories. But there are creative people out there. And especially, like I said, what was that? Somebody did a really, really brilliant somebody at home with their tools, Star Wars spin-off thing and without copyright and without everything. And I said, that's all great, but you can't get someplace using other people's IP. You got to come up with your own stories. And if the story is good and the characters are good, then all the other tools become just what you have to do to get that on the screen and get people to see it. But if it's not, it doesn't matter how brilliantly visually wonderful it is. It's still going to be a drag, and it's still going to be, if it hits, a flash in the pan quickie, and that's like these movies we're talking about that are sustaining interest over several weeks. So just come up with some new stories, people, of people and stories that are not girl boss preaching, and stories that are not politically hectoring. Stories
politically charged.
Yeah, or even stories where, oh, well, you've got to do your homework and see 43 movies to get this one. I'm sorry.
I hate that.
We're not willing to invest the time anymore. We have too many other things demanding our attention span. I've said it 1,000 times, and it's true. Everybody in entertainment, whether it's movies or TV or books or magazines, if they still exist, or YouTube or whatever, what we sell is attention span.
Yeah.
We sell eyes and ears and brains engaged with something. And there's only so many hours in the day when those engagements can happen. And if I'm watching YouTube, I'm not at the theater. And if I'm at the theater, I'm not reading a book or whatever, So respect that in the audience. Respect that they are doing a huge thing by granting you their attention span, and don't you dare disappoint them, because they won't come back.
And
what sucks is that we could be missing out on a great story with new characters, something original, a new lore that's out there of storytelling, and Hollywood is just in this constant copy and paste.
It doesn't have to be a 14 movie series either.
No, it doesn't.
It can be just one, and it's really good.
And let it have its following, let it have its fan base, and
you could have Gaston to Batman by Ron.
Those are IPs that are overlooked. But one thing that we will not overlook is our audience, because just as we've been talking about, we respect their time and hope that we inform and entertain and get back to, well, the support that they get.
Back to Super Chats.
Wow.
I know. Izzo's Place is here. Izzo's Place chimes in as a member for 23 months.
Spiel who? Oh my gosh.
Gonna go
Spiel
see
who?
Detectives.
Mutton honey. Mutton honey.
Who? I know, right? Izzo's Place. We don't know. Hey, 23 months, Izzo's Place.
Birthday! Happy birthday, hon. Yes, indeed. Be careful, because whenever you blow out those candles, don't blow your teeth out with it. Been there, done that. Ooh.
That's right. Don't blow your teeth out.
Did you? Well, wait. You know what this reminds? Did you ever think that when you said Steven Spielberg, it was going to be the equivalent of the Beatles? Wasn't that Paul's other band?
Oh, yeah.
It's like. I mean, he was a brilliant filmmaker for a long time. I'm not taking a second away from him, but we still talk about John Ford, and we still talk about Preston Sturges, and we still talk about, well, you could make a list. Orson made what, 4 movies, maybe 5, without total interference and total, neglect, but they're still alive. and you can watch them today, and they still have something. Disclosure, from what I've seen, not so much.
No, but
Spielberg went from being Paul. Oh,
no, go ahead.
I was going to say he went from Paul McCartney writing songs to Ringo.
No, he went straight to Yoko Ono.
Hey, come on now. I don't ask for much. I only want trust, and it don't come easy. But
let's celebrate Izzo.
To Izzo's place. Cheers.
That's a hell of a bar, Izzo.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Izzo's place is a good place.
I guess.
Oh, we do have another story. I hate news like this.
I have news. What type of news is it? Well, to be perfectly frank, it's bad. Maybe if you tell me the bad news in a good way, it won't sound so bad.
The bad news in a good way.
Yes, I can do that.
Well, here goes. Wait till you hear this.
The Mandalorian and Grogu will likely become the biggest box office flop in Star Wars franchise history.
And
wow.
think of how hard it had to work to achieve that. I mean, let's admire, that's a lot of competition if you think about it.
Yeah. I mean, you have what, and basically it's coming in at the tail end of a string of bad Star Wars decisions. Imagine if they would have made The Acolyte into a movie. How bad would that have been? Yes.
Never do that again.
Gosh.
Please, no.
Well, okay. This is by our good friend Marvin Montanaro out of That Park Place. Of course, bookmark it if you haven't done so.
And wait. Go back up a second. There's a new to me relative, a little further up. Little further. Look over there on the right, folks. In addition to bookmarking and everything else, there's this new Google thing, or it's new to me, that I've seen showing up on our pages lately. Add us as a preferred source. Boy, do that. That would help us enormously and help you too, so you don't miss anything.
There you go.
But that means I have to use Google.
Well, there is.
Well, I do have an Android phone, so yeah, technically.
Into every sunny day, a drop of rain must fall. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted, but I wanted to
every shot that I ever see of the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda now, to me, it just I almost think that the toy was a bad idea, because now he looks like the toy. And now it just looks like the Mandalorian has a toy with him at all times.
Well, for merchandising sake, it was a killer not to do something new with him in this thing and grow him up a little bit, maybe, so you could have the new Grogu versus the old Grogu that you already bought 4 copies of.
Yeah, it's a problem when he doesn't look like he's aging at all.
Because kids,
if they would have kept it a secret that he was going to be like teenage or whatever version in this movie, and then released it with that, people would have gone to actually see the difference in the change.
Yeah, actually, I mean, think about Groot, the baby Groot.
I was just going to say Groot. They did, yeah.
He became teenage Groot. He became teenage Groot that died and came back.
Why can't I be a teenage Groot in love? Anyway,
because you have a big case
time
of wood.
skip at some point.
Well, yeah, the last Groot iteration that we saw was actually King Groot. I don't know that he was supposed to be King Groot from the comics, but that's the design of the body in the very last scene that you see Groot in. So my only point to that is that there is a massive amount of change. So yeah.
And it isn't like we had to tell them; they knew from that experience, or should have known.
I mean, it's Disney, right?
The toy makers all across America are PO'd as hell because they didn't get anything new to
can't sell new Yodas. Disney and Lucasfilms The Mandalorian and Grogu continued its downward spiral at the global box office this weekend, and the latest numbers suggest the film is now heading towards a major record for the Star Wars franchise. After another rough weekend, the film managed just $4.7 million domestically, a 52.8% drop from the previous frame. Its domestic total now stands at roughly $165 million, while the worldwide earnings have reached only $315 million. Also, for Star Wars, that's horrible in the sense that, I mean, we talk about everything here, on YouTube domestically, but we don't know how much that talk gets out to the rest of the world. So for the last year, we have had the summer sizzle. We've been making fun of kind of Pedro and his antics outside. I don't know if that message
about summer sizzle. I was actually working on something for Pro, and I was making a death metal version of that song.
Okay, interesting.
I kind of finished it, but it couldn't go nowhere because it was just hilarious, and I made fun of Wilted in it. I will share it to you guys later on.
Share, yeah. But what's interesting is I don't know that the chatter, that the stuff that we've been talking about over the last year, I know it is seen by a lot of people in the US and it's seen by people overseas in England and UK, different places, Germany, and I know for sure other places. But my question is, how worldwide has that gotten? Like, has Pedro Pascal's reputation gone down across the globe? Because it's possible that a lot of people, some people stayed away because Star Wars is a dying franchise. Some people stayed away because the Mandalorian season 3 was awful, and other people have stayed away from this because Pedro's awful and his weird antics outside of the movies. But a lot of it is just that I just think there's just a lack of interest in Star Wars. It's just, I don't know. It's just weird to see Star Wars go this direction. Anyway,
wasn't that a boy band?
Yeah. Just as concerning for Lucasfilm is the speed at which theaters are dropping the film. After losing 945 locations the previous week, The Mandalorian and Grogu was removed from another 675 theaters this weekend. In the span of 2 weeks, the movie has lost more than 1,600 screens across North America.
And a lot of them, the high-priced, super large format screens, which it lost to He-Man, which also took a dump. So, golly, what's an IMAX to do? Better go back to running the nature films. That's all I can say. At least they're reliable.
I think they should play Back to the Future back to back.
Yeah.
I would watch that in theaters.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would go see Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory on IMAX.
There you go.
Yeah, those numbers paint a troubling picture for a film that was supposed to bring one of Disney's most successful streaming properties to the big screen. It's clear that it doesn't really work that way, unfortunately. Unlikely to beat Solo. For years, Solo, Star Wars story, has been viewed as the low water mark for Star Wars at the box office. Released in 2018, Solo finished its theatrical run with approximately $393 million worldwide, which would be closer to $500 million now. At that time, the result was viewed as a major disappointment for a franchise that had previously produced billion-dollar blockbusters. But now, however, The Mandalorian Grogu appears unlikely to even reach that figure. Weren't there some people? Am I wrong in thinking that there were some people that predicted that this would become $1.5 billion movie? I swear I heard some people.
There was a guy who said $2 billion.
Yeah.
Seriously? Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
I don't remember his name, but Nerdrotic was talking about it. He said there's a guy who said this might even make, I'm going to say $2 billion.
Yeah, they showed clips of him being an idiot that way. And See, that's the thing. The internet never forgets. If you
was
really
he
go
talking
out on a
monopoly
limb like
money?
that,
Because it's feasible monopoly money.
Yeah, sitting at $315 million worldwide, the film would need nearly another $80 million just to catch Solo. And again, of course, that's not really catching Solo because given inflation, but given the movie's steep decline, shrinking theater count, and rapidly slowing daily grosses, the target appears increasingly out of reach. Should the film finish below Solo, it will become the lowest grossing live action Star Wars movie ever released, which is probably what it's going to do. Every Star Wars movie has earned more, which we know. I don't really need to go into, but it's just, does it make anyone else sad that we had this amazing story franchise
and it took so long to bake it, and we'll never have that recipe again? Oh no.
Sunday, what was that? Sunday in the Park? Someone left their cake out in the rain.
MacArthur Park, yeah. Sunday in the Park with George is
MacArthur Park. It's I think of, it's funny that you mentioned that the cake, someone left their cake out in the rain, right? That's the line from that.
Right.
That what that song signifies to me actually goes back to my university that I went to, because as I was looking into schools when I was a senior in high school, the university sent me a cassette tape of the things that they recorded in their recording studio there as an advertisement to what I could do in music theater, commercial music. And that was one of the songs. That tape, I'll never forget. Which of course I did end up going to that school and being part of their
may we ask which
show
school?
choir. Millikan University, the same school that Jody Benson graduated from.
I have Belkin stuff in my house, but they're usually power supplies and power strips.
Oh, there you
yes.
go. That's a different kind of a Millikan, yeah. I think it's, I don't know. To me, it's just like tragic. I've been watching this stuff, these documentaries online about, we recently lost Marsha. I think, isn't that her name, Marsha Lucas?
Yeah.
We recently lost her, and I was watching some documentaries where she was still in it. She was talking about her, unfortunately, estranged relationship with George, because apparently when they were together, they were very much in love, and she was his editor. She saved Star Wars on the cutting room floor. She saved, apparently she also saved Return of the Jedi, even though that they were going through their divorce at that time. And it's interesting to see this amazing franchise at the time, almost like Star Wars was almost made like a big budget independent movie. And even though George may not have been the best director, may not have been the best writer, he gave us this thing that for so many years has been so beloved by so many people. And what Disney has done with it is heartbreaking. I mean, it really is. It's like nobody wants to see something that they loved in their childhood, go this direction. And it's kind of sad.
I can't even watch the original trilogy anymore. Like, Kathleen Kennedy put Star Wars down, but Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford, they killed it for me. Like, I can't root for these people to win anymore. Like, I can't even watch the old one without going like, ugh, I'm just gonna turn this off.
Because it's hard to separate these actors from the characters that they play when they're making their statements so prominent. Like, Mark
I don't have that problem with the older stuff. Like, going back from when I was a kid, seeing it to how they behave now, I just look at it, okay, they became a-holes.
Yeah.
It's harder for me to separate the art from the artist.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess because my musical thing showed, you look at it a little differently.
But I show you, when I hear you say that, I think of that bit from The Producers, where the German guy is talking about what a great artist the Fuhrer was, and he could do a whole apartment, paint it entirely, 2 coats in one afternoon. So what a great artist.
Oh my God.
Oh, well, I have steadfastly held out the example for getting old without turning into a jerk, as far as I can tell. Of course, it's only me saying that, so you never know.
No, I know you, and I agree with you. So, yeah.
Which either says I'm right or it says your taste sucks, one or the other, and we don't know which.
I hope I have decent taste. Anyway. I want to thank everybody on the panel for being here today. Those are all the stories we have, but I want to feature everybody and go around the room, if you will, to tell people. Go and show you got 2 jobs here because you're a panelist. But hopefully you still have the resources. We're going to start with Lou. Tell us about Lou's Views. And
Lou's Views is everything I think of after I leave here, I put over there, but no, not really. But it's my Patreon thing, and it costs you a whole $5 a month for whatever I feel is worth sharing. And some of them are frivolous and silly, but instructive, I hope. And some of them are deadly serious, and all of them are hopefully genuinely useful to you. So I don't make any commitment to how many I'll do every month. You may get a lot, you may get only a few. But hopefully they will not waste your time. They will give you some perspective on the world as I have seen it these many years. And then, of course, you can find me with Hangry and Lorne doing the Genre Guys. And we get into some great movies that you might have missed. It's always amazing to me, some of the movies that they missed or that I missed and that we get to revisit. So check that out. And then I'm going to be, I now know, on the Pro Show Wednesday night. And then Wednesday nights after the Pro Show, Culture and I do this thing called the Hollywood Backlot with Lou and you, where I try and tell you how Hollywood really works as opposed to how you've been told it works. And surprise, they're different. So there you go.
Surprise, surprise, surprise. Erica. Everyone loves to hang with Erica and Raph. Tell us about hanging with Erica and Raph and where people can find you these days. And, when you get your stuff back.
Yeah, well, for now, it's on our channel, Hanging with Erica and Raph, or you can just type in the @Erica Raph. And on Fridays at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 7 p.m. Eastern, we go live and we just hang out with friends. Most of you guys here on here, and we just hang out, talk about anything, no particular themes or niches. It's just hanging out with friends. If anything, you might be able to get to know some panelists from other shows in a more relaxed environment, kind of get to know us in a different way on our streams on Fridays. So, yep.
There you go.
It reminds me of that line from The Prisoner where he says about the village. Number 2 tells him, you might even see people you know.
Yeah. And it's different each week. We really don't know who's showing up.
Tom might show up. Tom might be at the beach.
I'll be at the beach. I'll be at Universal. I might be at Disney Springs. I might be at Ron's house working on a computer. I could be anywhere in this state, and I got a couple of songs being released, and I'm hopefully maybe we'll be on Broadbenter this Friday because I got a little visitor in town, and we're doing a lot of stuff this week. So,
a little visitor,
yes.
E.T.
No, my granddaughter. But she is still here, and we are doing some other fun stuff.
Fantastic.
So, we'll be doing that, but other than that, I'm like a bad rash. I'm everywhere.
Well, this guy is
and
not
calamine
like
lotion will not exercise him. Let's put it that way.
Bring peroxide.
Oh, God.
This is our mod who has become a great panelist. Going Shogi. Tell us about all of the wonderful things you're cooking up on Instagram.
Yeah,
which makes me hungry every time I look at it.
Yeah, I don't really have a channel or a public Instagram or anything yet, but I'm working on all that, starting to put something together. I'm in the planning phase. So hopefully coming soon, I'll have some sort of cooking channel up and going.
Great. Great.
Yeah, you
I
don't
have a
have
couple
that-
ideas. I'm gonna see where those take me.
So Shogi put up this link to my merch store, and you don't happen to have anywhere nearby the 250th shirt, do you?
I don't. It's actually in the washing machine right now. I wore it
Okay.
over the weekend.
Oh, I hate the way you wore it over the weekend. Anyway, there's a shirt for the semi-quincentennial over there that you should check out, and
It's a great shirt. I've actually gotten a lot of compliments on it.
There you go. And it's selling pretty well in the shop. So check out the link. Go over there. Check that out. Let me put everybody back on. I want to thank LW, Erica, Shogi, and Tom all for being here. And thank you guys in the chat. Izzo's Place, member for 23 months. Wild Man of Yemen chiming in with 20 and Texas 8412. Thank you all so much for being here today. We'll
Ron,
be back tomorrow. Yes.
You know how my musical mind works. When you said all that, I thought, LW, Erica, Shogi, and Tom, are you going to Ron's Very Fair?
Are you going to Ronsbury Fair?
It's interesting, Lou. You go that way, and I go right to Hard Rock.
See, there you go. Different.
I look up
strokes.
to
anyway.
Wizard. But yes, thank you guys, everybody, for being here. I'll be back tomorrow after the pro show. So 3:05 p.m. is the time for the dish tomorrow. And until then, we'll see you real soon. Thank you, everybody. Bye. Ciao. Uh-oh, that did not. Let's try this again. StreamYard is weird.
man. Brings him down to the shot.